This isn't a safe. It's a solid piece of metal. It's impossible to open.
Sir, I can open it. Just give me a chance.
If a great technician like me couldn't open this safe, what are you?
This safe, discovered during excavation 5 years ago, simply wouldn't open. The best technicians from India and abroad had tried to open it, but none could. Modern machines had failed. Lasers, drills, and X-rays were all useless. Finally, a special technician was called in from America, but when he too couldn't open it, a 13-year-old boy standing there said, "Sir, I can open it. Just give me a chance." Quote, this statement felt like an insult to the American engineer. He said, "If you open it, I'll give you 10 million rupees." The feat that poor boy accomplished astonished even America's most prominent figures. And you'll be amazed by what was discovered in Tahori. Far from the hustle and bustle of the city, the massive building of the National Royal Museum stood like a sleeping history. This morning was unlike any other. Hall number 9, known as the Chamber of Mysteries, was packed to the brim. Heavy police security, flashing media cameras, and the presence of prominent historians from India and abroad made the atmosphere tense. Right in the center of the hall, on a raised platform, sat the object that had kept the government and scientists awake for the past 5 years. It was the Kal Kapat, the mysterious black vault. 5 years ago, when the ruins of an old palace in Rajasthan were being excavated, a stone chamber was discovered 30 feet below the ground. This vault was placed in the center of that room. The site seemed as if someone had deliberately hidden it. When it was lifted out of the pit, everyone was stunned by its weight. Old documents revealed that the vault might be the secret vault of an ancient king, containing either treasure or a secret. It was brought to the city's museum. The government had announced that the vault would be opened scientifically, not through vandalism. Whatever was inside would be a historical treasure. This was no ordinary vault. Its metal was neither pure iron nor copper. Its color was a deep black, unaffected by the ravages of time. Strange figures were carved around the vault. In one place a roaring lion, in another a bent sword, and in another a strange network of constellations. Historians believed it was the royal vault of the ancient Suryavanshi kings. It was said that the king had hidden not only wealth but the secrets of his entire kingdom, which, if captured by an enemy, would have destroyed the empire. But the problem was that there was no way to open it. There was no keyhole, no handle. Modern machinery had failed. In a dusty corner, away from the VIP area of the same museum, stood 14-year-old Arav. Arav was wearing an old, faded shirt with its buttons broken. His feet were bare. His father, Mohan, who had been sweeping and mopping the museum for the past 20 years, was terrified. He held Arav's hand tightly. "Arav, son, don't move at all." Mohan whispered softly, "You see, so many important officials have come. If we make even the slightest noise, the guards will throw us out. Today, my job is at stake." Quote, Arav nodded, but his eyes were fixed not on his father's words, but on that black safe. Arav was no ordinary child. Where other children played marbles in the streets, Arav would come to the museum with his father in the still nights and spend hours gazing at those old objects. To him, these stone and metal objects weren't lifeless. They spoke to him. "Papa," Arav whispered, "the safe is crying." Mohan looked at him in shock. "What nonsense are you talking? Shut up." Quote, but Arav was telling the truth. He heard a strange echo in his ears. It wasn't the noise of machinery, but of the gears trapped inside the metal, groaning in mismatch. Just then, a tall, blond man entered through the main entrance of the hall, followed by 4 assistants carrying expensive briefcases. He was Richard Smith, the greatest locking engineer. Richard had opened safes in America and Europe that the world considered invincible. A strange pride was on his face. The museum director stepped forward and welcomed him. "Mr. Smith, we have complete confidence in you. The eyes of the Indian government and the entire world are upon you today. Whatever is inside this safe is a world heritage." Quote, Richard looked at the safe with a wry smile and said in English, "I have opened safes that can withstand a nuclear blast. This piece of ancient iron is nothing to me." Quote, Richard began his work. First, he took out an ultrasonic scanner and applied it to the surface of safe 2. A few waves appeared on the monitor and then flattened out. He used a laser thermal sensor to determine the location of the lock by the temperature difference within the metal. But the safe showed no response. 2 hours passed. The temperature in the hall was rising. Richard's face was drenched with sweat. He picked up his drill, the tip of which was made of the world's hardest diamond. As he set the drill, he saw the hole. He placed it on the safe's surface. A deafening sound resounded, and sparks flew. But surprisingly, the safe didn't even make a scratch. Instead, the drill's tip melted and bent. Richard shouted, "Impossible! What is this metal? This defies the laws of science." Quote, the crowd erupted in murmurs. People began to despair. Journalists began to turn off their cameras. Then, in desperation, Richard grabbed his microphone and announced, "This safe might never open. Perhaps its creator designed it to never be opened. Modern science has failed here." A mournful silence descended over the entire hall. The director's face fell. Amidst that silence, Arav's hand slowly rose from behind the pillar. He shouted, "Sir, I can open this safe. Just give me one chance." Quote, suddenly, there was silence. Everyone's eyes turned in one direction. The The top technician from America, who had just confidently declared that this safe would never be opened, was now trying to open that very safe. A child was saying, "I will open it." He was initially taken aback, but when his eyes fell on the tattered child, he burst out laughing. "This kid, this cleaner, who probably hasn't even seen a school, is challenging me," he said with a sarcastic laugh. "This couldn't be opened by a great technician like me. How can you open it?" Quote, the museum's security head lunged at Arav. "Hey, boy, how dare you? Get out of here." Quote. But Arav didn't run. He stood there, his eyes gleaming with a gleam only those who possess the truth can understand. Arav looked at the director and said, "Sir, if you give me one chance, I can open this lock. If I can't, then please throw me out, but at least let me try." Quote, an officer said irritably, "This isn't a game. It's a national treasure. Experts from all over the world have been working on it for 5 years, but no one has been able to open it. What can you do?" The American technician was probably enjoying the whole scene. He unbuttoned his chest and said, "Let's see this poor man's wisdom today. Hey, boy, if you open it, I'll give you a check for 1 crore rupees. But if you don't, remember, I'll have your father jailed today for tampering with this museum's property." Quote, Mohan Arav's father's knees began to tremble. He shook Arav's shoulder. "No, son, don't go. We'll be ruined." But Arav kissed his father's hand and whispered, "Have faith, Baba, Dadaja, I'm with you today." Arav stepped barefoot onto the platform. Hundreds of people in the hall, cameras and history itself, watched with bated breath of the 14-year-old boy. Arav remembered the day he learned to open this safe, when his father was sweeping the museum floor. When they were installed, Arav would sit in corners and try to read the small boards. Sometimes the guards would scold him, saying, "Don't touch all this." But his eyes scanned everything, as if inspecting them. Patterns, symbols, shapes, locks, hinges were another strange thing. Arav's grandfather, who is no longer in this world, would often say, "We were once among the king's men." As a child, these things seemed like stories to Arav, as if he were showing off some unnecessary pride. But whatever his grandfather told, there was so much detail that it sometimes left him wondering. As his grandfather would say, "Our ancestors used to make locks that no one could open, and locks that anyone could open. Our generation was responsible for protecting the king's treasures." Quote, when his grandfather passed away, these stories also faded into thin air. But one day, in the storeroom of an old library at the back of the museum, where broken chairs, old boxes, and discarded posters were kept, Arav discovered something strange. He was on the night shift with his father. His father and another cleaner was cleaning the room. While removing things, the lid of an old wooden trunk opened. Inside were some dusty, handwritten books with yellowed pages. When everyone had left, Arav sneaked back into the room. He picked up a book and opened it. It contained strange markings, lock designs, gears, sections on safes,